Welcome to Love School. I'm Dawn Masler, and this is Lesson 2 on our series on the science of love. Today, I'm going to answer one of those questions that have perplexed biologists for decades. Why does it take 120 million sperm to fertilize one egg? You know the answer? Because none of them will stop and ask for directions. Okay, it's a bit of a joke, but there is some truth in every joke. So today we're going to take a look at some of the subtle differences in our brains that create these variations in our behavior. If we take a look deep inside of our brains, we find a structure called the hippocampus. Both men and women have it, but a woman's tends to be larger. But it's not just the size that is different. We actually use our hippocampus in very different ways. The hippocampus is involved in emotion and memory. It acts kind of like a memory filer. It takes a memory and puts it in appropriate long-term storage. Because a woman's hippocampus is larger, she tends to remember things more, especially if they're emotionally charged. She'll remember things like birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions, that day you called her by your ex's name. Men, on the other hand, don't remember all those things, especially the ex's name thing. Instead of remembering events and moments, he uses his hippocampus almost like an internal GPS system. Researchers at University College of London found that he actually has specialized grid cells that act almost like an internal radar system. So he won't stop and ask for directions because it doesn't make sense for him to stop and ask for directions. His GPS is busy trying to figure out where he is. He just needs to drive around a little bit more till he gets his bearings and allows his internal GPS to do some recalculating. Researchers believe that this evolved during the hunter-gathering time. Men tended to do the hunting, but once you hit an animal, sometimes they didn't just die. Sometimes they would run away, so you would have to track them, sometimes for hours. Once you finally got them, now you had to figure out how to get back home. You couldn't stop and ask for directions or look at street signs or maps, so you had to figure out how to get back home on your own with your own internal GPS system. Women, on the other hand, tended to gather. So she didn't have to get back home, but she had to remember where the plants were that were about to bloom, what the good ones looked like, which ones were poisonous. But that's not the only brain structure that has a size difference. We have this one called, you ready for this? The sexually dimorphic preoptic area of the hypothalamus. Huh? All right, it goes by another name. We call it the pursuit spot. Both men and women have it, but in men it's 2 to 2.5 times bigger than in women. And as the name implies, the pursuit spot is what prompts someone to pursue a sexual relationship. He also has 25% more neurons in his visual cortex. That means he places more emphasis on visual stimulation. But his vision is a little bit different from women too. He's actually better at seeing things that are moving, where women, on the other hand, are better at color differentiation. Which makes sense. If he's out hunting, he's looking for things to move. And if she's out picking berries, she's looking for slight variations in color. The point is, we really are different. We think, feel, and function differently, and these differences affect the way we behave in our pursuit for love. So make sure you come back next week. I'm going to answer one of those age-old questions I get. In this day and age, is it okay for a woman to pursue a man? So come back next week so you don't miss a thing in Love School.